Hi, I'm Mark Hugger. This is Next Steps for Ambitious Beginners, Taking Tricks. We have been looking at Chapter 5 of Easley Blackwood's book. The book is Play of the Hand with Easley Blackwood. And we've been looking at Chapter 5, which is about promotion and suit establishment. And I hope that you've enjoyed it. We do have the last 5 hands in this chapter today, but the book is thousands of pages. That's not true. It's 800 pages or so, but it seems very long, and this is just a fraction of the hands in it. I encourage you to try to track it down. It's been out of print since 1974, but it is a good old book to have in your library. This is our first one for the week. It's a 6-spade contract. So we have 11 tricks. 6 spades, 2 hearts for 8, the ace of clubs for 9, and 2 diamonds for 11. In that search for one more trick, we can't help but notice that we have a 9-card club suit. If they are splitting 2-2, then we can lead the ace of clubs and one other, right? And that will be that. They'll get one club trick, and we will make our contract. But we don't need to rush into that play because there's one more play we can try in which we will not lose a trick in trying it, right? So in other words, we can always save the ace and one more for a 2-2 club split. And that is this diamond suit, right? We have 6 diamonds, 5-1, which means that anytime they are splitting 4-3, right? The 7 out are splitting 4-3 against us, then a little diamond trick is going to be good. A little diamond card is going to win the last trick. So the issue is entries, and I'll give you a second just to look at it here and think about how we go about playing the diamond suit 5 times, right? Because it's that 5th diamond that's good. We'll win the ace of hearts and make our first diamond play to the king. And we'll lead. They both follow. You need to follow 3 times. We'll lead over to the 10 of spades, and we'll lead a diamond. Now, if he shows out here, right, then we will rough and we will move on to our club play. But if he follows, then we're going to pitch a club. Okay, they both followed, so that's 2 times. Now we can play one more. And if they both follow again, then we know that one of them has the last diamond, and the 7 of diamonds is going to be a good trick, and will also be the beer card. But at this point, we have to play the diamonds 2 more times. Now, we have an obvious lead to the ace of clubs, but what is our second entry? And this is cute. We rough the good king of hearts. Rough the 4 diamonds. Now, the 7 of diamonds is good. Now, some of you may know that the 7 of diamonds is also known as the beer card, where if you win the last trick of your contract with the 7 of diamonds, there's a reward of a beer. Right? That's 11, and there's the beer card. But we just have iced tea. Just iced tea. That's all we have. All right. We have 6 spade tricks. We have the ace of hearts for 7, and we have the ace of diamonds for 8. Right? We have a slew of club tricks that would get us to 12. But we are a little short in entries. Now, let me show you the bidding. West opened. So if we give West 12 points, add the 8 that are in the dummy, that's 20, add that to our 20, and that's 40. In other words, there are no points left for East. Now, in terms of us trying to make this contract, that presents a problem that can be resolved. First, the idea that we can take a diamond finesse doesn't work, right? Because we know it will lose to West, and we know he has the ace of clubs. So our only salvation is the club suit indeed. But we don't really have a lot of entries. And this is a situation where knowing where all the points are, knowing that when you lose the trick, West will be on lead, creates an opportunity for an end play. We know he has hearts. We know he has clubs. If he leads a diamond, he does nothing but benefit us, right? So where do we put him in? Well, what we'll do, first of all, is save that ace of hearts. That's one of our ways in, right? So then we will pull trump. There were 5 of them out. And they break with West holding 3. You just pitch that 3 hearts. It's meaningless. And now we will lead clubs. Right? He's 5-3 hearts and spades. He doesn't take the ace there, and he takes it there. But when he takes this, what does he lead? If he leads a heart, we're right back in the game, right? Because all the clubs are good. If he leads a club, thank you. But if he leads a diamond, then he leads into this finesse, right? And we can, holding the 10-9, then we will be able to lead to one of them if he plays the king. Let's see what he leads. Leads the king. We can take it. And now the hand is pretty much made, right? We actually have 3 diamond tricks and 2 spades, but to make the story end tidy, let's cross back over and pitch all of these diamonds, which are also winners at this point. And then ruff the ace of hearts just for fun. Right, so just a little bit of imagination. Like I said, these last few hands are sort of exciting. And here we had an end play. We were short in entries, but maybe if we know where things lie, or maybe if we just have to assume where the high cards lie, we can actually find ourselves in a situation where a defender is unable to do anything but help us. I have a note in my book, actually. I worked years ago when I bought the book. I worked through this a few times, and finally I just wrote a big note on it and said, there must be an error. I don't see it. We get to 4 hearts, and we are missing the ace. So we have 5 heart tricks, 2 spades for 7, 2 clubs for 8 and 9, and we are in search, as it seems we always are, for one more trick. We get the king of diamonds as a lead, and we have 7 diamonds. They have 6. East follows with the queen, which is about as big a sign as you can get that East either has just the queen or one other. But West doesn't lead a diamond looking for a ruff, perhaps because he thinks that I'm going to ruff, and that was going to be part of my goal for this hand. But he switches to hearts, and East turns out to have the ace, and he leads a small trump back. So my problem is, as I have 2 losers already, and I have 5 diamonds, one of which has to lose, and one that can be rough. So they'll ruff one, and then they will take the other. So as you can see, it's kind of pretty dicey here. We have some play with spades and clubs, but the key here, as I've eventually figured out after working through it many times, is that we have some idea that East can't lead a diamond, which means he has to lead clubs or spades. Right? As long as we get rid, there's one more heart out, and we have to get rid of that heart. And if it's in East, he really can't be holding it for this to work. So we will now basically pitch the spades. Play 2 spades. Queen Jack over here, right? And ruff a 3rd one. They followed 3 times, and this is our scenario, right, where that means one of our spades is good. But we have to get there, right, 2 times, and we can't do it with just 1 club. right? So what I need to do is take away East's last heart. Now all he has to lead, if he's out of diamonds, is clubs or spades. So we'll go up to the ace of clubs. We'll lead a spade, but we won't rough it. Instead, we're going to rely on East having to lead a black card, which he does when he leads the king of clubs. And we can now play the seven of spades. So a long way around to setting it up, but we have two hearts left. And we are making our contract. The penultimate hand of the series here, at least the series in the sense that the hands are from Blackwood, we have a huge hand, and I'm sure you've been in this situation before where you have a huge hand, but your partner just has nothing to help, right? Here, they actually have the Queen Jack 10 of clubs, but we have no way to get there because the other high card is the Jack of diamonds, and we're blocking them in the diamond suit. So this is a situation, and Blackwood is amusing from time to time, and he says, but this is, I like the final hands in my chapters to have happy endings. And so this is what he did, and it makes some sense because it's all there is, right? With nothing better to suggest itself, this makes some sense. We will win and unblock the clubs. And now the Queen, Jack 10 are high. In the diamond suits, watch what happens. We play the ace, the king, the queen, and they follow 3 times. So this hand was 4, 3, 3, 3. The Jack of diamonds is the last diamond left. So no one could lead us to the diamonds. The only thing that they can lead to is the clubs. And then we'll play the hearts. And we are going to put them in with spades, knowing that we're going to lose a heart trick, we're going to lose spade tricks. But we still can lose 4 more. The key is, will they have to lead to us at any point? And they will have to lead to us a club. Nothing else will work. There's the heart. Another spade. And what do we pitch up there? Well, the diamond, obviously. They can't lead to the diamond. So now they have their 4 tricks. And if the poor guy has a club left, he has to lead to us. So yet another cute little hand that has a happy ending, which is what Blackwood said he'd like to have happen. Last hand in chapter 5 from Easley's book. And it is not really, he seems to think it's related, but he also acknowledges that it probably hints more of things he wants to teach later on in the book. And it is what I've come to call the casual squeeze. It's technically a simple squeeze, but I think it's just important to recognize that you can play this, you can make this, you just next need to recognize a few things, right? So, and once you do that, it's pretty casual play. You just win a lot of tricks, especially when you're in 7-no trump. So we have 3 spades, we have 3 hearts, that's 6. We have 3 clubs, that's 9. We have 3 diamonds, that's 12. As ever, in search of one more trick. Now, it's not going to come in spades, not going to come in hearts. It can only be the 2 of clubs or the 2 of diamonds. Okay, and our play here is simply to win everything in the dummy. That's a winner, except for the ace of diamonds and the 2 of diamonds. We leave those 2 cards there because we'll want to get to them if it turns out the 2 of diamonds is the one that's winning for us. But we'll leave that to the end, and then we will play all the other cards, finishing with the clubs to see if the 2 of clubs is winning. So, in other words, do this. Win your hearts. Win your diamonds. Leave the ace and the 2 there. See, we can always get there with the 5 of diamonds. Cross to the spades. How casual can this be? We're just playing our winners. Watching for people who show out, because if they show out and pitch a club or a diamond, we need to know that. But that's the only work we're doing. Okay, there's a diamond. Right, there's the diamond. If he'd thrown something else, it might have been hard. If he has a heart, or, it might have been harder for us to follow this. But he has thrown a diamond. Right? Now, this is pretty much a foregone conclusion. But if the clubs are breaking 3-3, there's the jack of clubs. It's probably not. Or maybe he was false carding. But when that guy shows out, we know that East has a club. Right, so we're not going to win anything with the 2 of clubs. But he pitched a diamond. So if he was guarding both clubs and diamonds, he's 1 diamond short here. And the 2 becomes the winner. A simple squeeze, or you can call it the casual squeeze if you want. Anyways, next week I'll have some more hands for you that I've collected, and then we'll do that maybe for 3 weeks, and then we'll move on to a bidding series. But I'm not going to teach you any gadgets that require you to spend hours and hours away from learning how to play the cards. And I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. All right, so see you next week.